Hi, let's do a meditation for motivation. I have things that I need to be doing and I need some extra support. Come to an easy seat, Sukhasana, Virasana, Vajrasana. Most importantly, prop yourself. I am sitting on 2 pillows on top of my mat so I can be super comfortable, and my physical body, when it is super comfortable, will not distract my mind as much. So find that comfortable seat. We're going to start with some really simple breath retention, counted breaths, and then we'll do a bit of a guided meditation. All right, enjoy. So go ahead and follow along with my counting, and then I'll give you some time to breathe on your own. Start with a few cycles of your natural breath, just focusing on that Cupid's bow little spot right below your nostrils, where you can feel either the temperature, the moisture, the air, the wind of your own inhale and exhale on your own skin, and tune into that awareness. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Continue with your own pace. You can bring an Ujjayi breath into this if you want. An Ujjayi breath is just a slight constriction at the back of the throat. Sounds like ocean waves, Darth Vader, a whispered breath. It's easier to find first on your exhale than it is on your inhale, but when you find both, just even out the tone and quality. Continue with your counted breath, or return to a normal cycle of breath, natural, neutral. I like to think of procrastination as a bit of an iceberg. So as I am sitting there enjoying life, thinking about what I might do, sometimes I get stuck on the tip of my procrastination iceberg. And if I sit for a moment, I imagine myself, in fact, sitting on top of this iceberg. And I think about the fact that an iceberg, the majority of its mass, its body, its depth, its everything, is underwater. It is unseen. And then I think, what are the unseen elements of my procrastination iceberg? Do I feel overwhelmed by getting started? Maybe by the breadth of the task? Am I kind of disinterested in what I need to do? I think it's going to be boring. Perhaps I'm harboring a little bit of fear or anxiety about what I need to do. Or unfortunately, I believe a lot of my personal iceberg is made up of self-doubt. Wondering if I'm good enough to get it done, or if I will have a negative spirit about getting it done, or negative self-talk. Continue to breathe deeply as you explore what might lie beneath your own sense of procrastination. If you sense that you're feeling overwhelmed by everything you have to do or by what you have to do, can you break it into a smaller task? Can you find manageable steps and simply focus on one thing for today? If what you have to do seems extremely boring and awful, and you don't want to spend your time in that way, could you potentially make a deal with yourself to do it for 5 minutes? And if at the end of 5 minutes you really would rather jump off a bridge, then stop and do 5 minutes tomorrow. Maybe you're identifying with that anxiety part of the iceberg. Trust in your mind and your body. You were aware enough to get on your mat and to think about mindfulness and motivation. And so you have the tools, the skills, and the ability to self-soothe if this activity becomes anxious. Take some space, get a deep breath, name every color you can see, other mind calming techniques. But you can do this. You're doing it right now. So you can be less anxious in the future. And lastly, if you are filled with self-doubt, and that is why you don't want to get going, simply know that the process of doing is a process of learning, and that by doing you will learn, and that learning will fill you with confidence. You're not an imposter. You maybe aren't an expert, but you don't have to be. It's okay. It really is. So as you focus on finding motivation and taking the self-care practice off the mat and into your next activities, think about what you're going to do. Are you going to break it into a manageable step? Are you going to give yourself a time limit to commit to doing it and then let yourself off the hook at the end of it? Are you going to promise yourself that you will stop and breathe and self-care and meditate and be mindful if you get overwhelmed or anxious? Or are you going to step out into the unknown and just do it and overcome that fear or that self-doubt with the process of doing and the joy of learning. No matter how you're going to approach what you need to do, you will take your breath and your game plan to overcome any procrastination with you off of the mat. So with that security and confidence, I'll invite you to close with a few counted breaths and breath retention again. I'll start us off so we can start together and then continue at your own pace. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, and hold. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2 more times by yourself. Bring your hands together at heart central. Gently bow your head. Thank yourself for being mindful about the support that you need today. Thank yourself for caring that you want to be motivated. Give yourself grace for whether or not you accomplished the task. You focused on yourself and increasing motivation and finding strategies to overcome procrastination. You showed up for you right now. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Namaste.